at all. The Zimbabwe dressing room was delighted with things, no surprise. They are through to the final at Lords. They have maximum points from the games that they've played. England and the West Indies still have much to do. Well, it was Guy Whittle who'd been promoted to open the batting today, who ended up with the Man of the Match award. He got pats on the back from everybody in the dressing room, as he ought to have done. He's a most versatile and handy cricketer.
Last time we played a one-day final.
Postcards from heaven for the Zimbabweans as they dominate the one-day show. England must kick on. Alex Stewart lost the toss. Andy Flower chose to bat. Here's Stewart's team. Just one change. Robert Croft is out and Andrew Flintoff is in the side as a specialist batsman. Here's Dermot Reeve with thoughts on the pitch.
Well, there was a lot of conjecture as to whether the wicket would take spin. Robert Croft not playing. Peter Marin, the groundsman, felt it was firm on top, but there had been a lot of rain and there was moisture below and there could be some movement early off the seam. The Zimbabwe team unchanged from Canterbury. 3 spinners in there: Dirk Viljoen, Paul Strang and Grant Flower.
Yes, the thing evenly matched on paper, so a question of for whom will the bell toll today? The fact is, England have to win the game. There is no doubt about that. They've made a bad start to the tournament. They have to confront Neil Johnson and Guy Whittle full on. There is the table. Zimbabwe 6 points, England and the West Indies just 1 each. Darkness and gloom outside today. And we have to point out inside as well. But there was no rain. So thankfully, play got underway bang on time at Old Trafford. That was a great relief to what wasn't as yet a very big crowd. First man in the hot seat for you is Richie Benaud.
That's a wonderful stroke. He's in a rich vein of form, Neil Johnson. Not too much wrong with that ball. It was a bit closer into the stumps and Johnson has thrashed it away.
Oh, this is a top shot. It's not all that short, and he's just rocked back, initially going forward. And the beauty about this shot is the placement.
Safe. I'm not sure that first slip would have got anyway. It flew away at a great pace, and it was quite high.
Not very good batting. He doesn't get into line, Guy Whittle. He just fiddles outside the off stump. The plus for him is he got it so high on the edge it went over the top.
And he's gone. Now that is a very, very valuable wicket for England. He's the danger man. And Andy Caddick has got one to go away from him, whereas the ball's been coming back in slightly to the left-hander before that. Caddick has slandered across his body, and the first blood for England.
Well, we've been singing his praises, and this one he's just got to nip away. Andy Caddick, bit of a scrambled seam, and again Johnson just rocking back, not really getting behind the ball, a little bit of extra pace, and a nice neat catch from Alex Stewart going with the delivery. Neil Johnson, a real danger man for England, is gone. He's out for 7, 14 for 1.
Safely away again. Actually, that one quite different from the one where he played a similar stroke to Goff. That one looked much more premeditated. Short ball, and he just eased it away over the top.
Yes, a bit more credit here to Guy Whittle. He knows the ball's going to bounce from Caddick.
3 for that. Depending on the pace of the outfield, he didn't quite get off the middle of the bat. Well, good fielding. Good fielding had stopped them going for the third. The third was there for the taking, but just that little bit of indecision at the moment, critique.
Very quick on the turn here. And on the bounce too. That's the way to do it.
Andy Flintoff made a good chase for that ball, hit straight down the ground during that over. He's come in for a bit of personal criticism this week. People are saying that he's overweight. That's the cause of his back problems, but he seems to move pretty well to me. And he's a very big guy anyway.
This is Andrew Caddick's run up and follow through. Just look how the wicket, which is quite powdery and dry, is already cutting up. A couple of areas there, quite interesting to the spin bowlers, if there were any in the England side. Now this is Darren Gough bowling into that area. That area there is too straight, but that one there will certainly interest Paul Strang later in the game. And you'll see Guy Whittle, having left that one alone, just goes to pat down those areas. I think Paul Strang actually would quite like it if he could rough it up a bit more rather than pat it down.
Astounding the sort of impression that Caddick makes on those footmarks. He pounds in, and it's no great surprise that when you get a crusty surface like you have here, you do get some sort of impression on that surface. That was the end of Neil Johnson. Worth pointing out, it was a good catch from Alex Stewart. Darren Gough was into the attack and bowling quickly, Dermot.
Yeah, Goffey had the wind behind him. He was bowling deliveries up 90 miles an hour plus and getting movement off the seam. Bit of moisture under the surface. Murray Goodwin wasn't coping. Took him 14 deliveries to get off the mark, and that shows you the strength of the breeze here. Really blowing a gale. Big shout, and he's given him. George Sharp says there was an inside edge there. Darren Gough strikes his first wicket.
Now just look at this, nipped in the wicket. Just strike him on the inside edge and the pad as well. Through to Alex Stewart. Withall is gone for 15, 38 for 2. Just interesting to see, just to look and see whether he did get an inside edge onto this. Seemed to me to just brush the pad.
And he's off the mark. Great shot. 4 runs. That's flown off the bat, using all the pace that Darren Gough's given him. He's in good form, Alistair Campbell.
Well, I can only describe this as an imperious shot. He's only faced one ball before this, and he's absolutely lashed onto that short delivery from Gough. Smashed it away behind point.
Oh, what a shot. 4 balls faced, 8 runs to Alistair Campbell. A magnificent cut, and this is some straight drive.
Well, what a difference a couple of half centuries make.
This is Zimbabwe's progress shown on the Manhattan. The second over was a very good one for them. And for 9, been a couple of tied overs, generally around the 5 and over mark.
At one Old Trafford, the floodlights are built into the space-age technology of the amphitheatre, home of Manchester United. Here at the other Old Trafford, the floodlights look as if they're on loan from Stockport County. I reckon even Mrs. Beckham's got stronger lights than that in her bathroom.
Well, some children in the crowd in the battle against football fascination, but worryingly, not enough. Are tickets too expensive, we might ask?
Very much a fixture of England's one-day side in the last 4 years. 51 matches for Mark Elam.
Get hold of it! Come and try!
Well, that'll be a question asked there. That was well fielded. Direct hit would have done the trick, but it wasn't needed. That is excellent fielding and good keeping from Stewart, because the ball was very low to the ground. And that's a real setback for the Zimbabwean side. Alistair Campbell, the man out. Glimpse of Manhattan graphic. Just the one good over, the second over, the 3 red rectangles below the line of the 3 dismissals at regular intervals. And England have done very, very well, particularly in the last 6 overs.
Well, there's been an impression that England have been a bit heavy-footed in the field in this tournament. They were so good in Southern Africa during the winter. 2 of the big guys, first Marcus Trescothick showing some athleticism down by the boundary, and then soon afterwards Andrew Flintoff, about whom in the past week, of course, shows that he can be athletic as well. It was a stage of the game that was dominated by Alan Mullally and Mark Elam. They came into the attack, they bowled gun barrel straight, they tied the Zimbabwean down, and pressure was created down.
Yeah, there was movement still off the seam. Mullally nipping this one back at Andy Flower. That was a good shout for LBW. Given not out, but they were bowling tight.
That's the problem with the lights. They're too high, would you believe? So when it's as windy as this, they daren't turn them on. They have to drop them by 20 feet, which might be the case later in the evening. That is the situation at the moment. The current run rate not up to the mark. And have a look at this for a stat, which gives you an idea of the control of the bowlers. 69 balls since the last boundary.
Bowled him. Something had to give, and it's Murray Goodwin. Just a little bit of movement for Mark Elam. Murray Goodwin have to go back and take an early shower.
Struggles continue for Murray Goodwin. Struggle continues for Zimbabwe today as well. The bowling has been very good. Mark Elam usually bowled stump to stump. Tried to make something out of nothing. Goodwin looking to force it square. Just clipped the top of the off stump. Not enough room there. Probably a poor choice of shots. Goodwin is gone. Gone for 21, Murray Goodwin. 64 for 4, Zimbabwe.
Murray Goodwin, followed by Alan Elam for 2.
Well, he's made his intentions clear. Just not quite sure how that missed. Again, very close. Pinch it up. Charging.
He likes to hit the ball over the top on the leg side, Brian Strang. On this occasion he missed it, and it barely missed his stumps as well.
He used his feet and got there on the half volley, then missed it. That's a carbon copy. He's not going to hang around. It's success or failure. Credit to Alex Stewart. He hasn't been fooled into putting somebody back. He's still inviting him to hit over the top, all the men in the ring. He's not playing with a lot of good sense yet. He's only just come in. He wants to knock it around, maybe get a half a dozen or 10 runs under his belt, just playing in the orthodox manner. I think Andy Flower ought to just nip down there and tell him that. Maybe he is. Just take it steady. Just play properly for half a dozen runs, and then you can start swinging the bat like that. Well, maybe he told him to continue, and he has by missing it.
Well, the only thing that is different from the shots that he's played before was that he tried to go through the offside. Strang, 3 previous ones were hikes over the leg side, so maybe that's a message that went down. Tried to hit it through the offside. Same result though, didn't get any contact.
Well, that was predictable. It had to happen. Just didn't give himself any sort of chance. Came in as a pinch hitter and unsuccessful. Good bowling from Mullally. Brian Strang departs.
And he was playing Russian relay, Brian Strang. Missed 4 hit this one, but straight onto his stumps, bottom edge. Backed away. Clearly came in under instructions, but not quite as effective as his captain would have liked. Brian Strang departs for 1, 65 for 5.
Quite a variety of footwear worn by the England bowlers. The toe cut out of the front foot there, and the gaffer tape, apparently gaffer tape, for Darren Gough. Andy Caddick prefers a more traditional type of leather-soled and uppered footwear with the toe hole again, but this time also the metal toe cap protecting from drag on the back leg as well, just keeping the boots lasting a long time. Mark Elam prefers the training shoe variety, much lighter on his feet, Mark Elam. And Alan Mullally, on the other hand, has the 10-pin bowling version. He's bowled very well, Mullally, in this game, but his left foot certainly isn't in Ryan Giggs' class.
Well, we keep seeing a smiling face on Alan Mullally. I'm not surprised. I think that he set up Brian Strang here. Strang wasn't up to the task of coping with a top-class bowler. What do you reckon on this promotion of a lower-order batsman?
Well, it was definitely reactive captaincy. The fact Mullally and Elam were bowling so tight, Andy Flower felt he had to do something, but Brian Strang obviously wasn't the man, and he'll have learnt from that. Eventually got an inside edge onto his stumps. You've got to put in someone with more ability than Brian Strang. Heath Streak, perhaps Paul Strang, Brian's brother.
Yes, it's absolutely his brother that I would have had in mind. He's a very, very useful hitter of the ball. Anyway, an interesting point in the day's play. The point is, too, that the worm was dropping for Zimbabwe. We could say, indeed, that it was turning. Very disappointing performance from their batsmen in the middle against some very intelligent England bowling. Caddick and Gough look fine with their figures. Mullally and Elam look outstanding. Very decent efforts. 6 overs, 1 for 8, and 5 overs, 1 for 5, respectively.
Still attacking Alex Stewart. And that's out. Another wicket for Mullally. This has been an inspired spell from him. His second. Grant Flower just defeated by the angle.
Mullally has bowled well, without much luck up to now. It's a good delivery, another good delivery on this occasion. A bit more bounce on it. Just fanning at it outside the off stump, Grant Flower. Thick edge, not the ideal shot on this surface. But Grant Flower is gone without troubling the scorers. 65 for 6.
And there's a big appeal from behind the wicket. George Sharp is unmoved. It's really snaked back off the wicket, just past the inside edge.
Another indication of how difficult it is batting on this pitch today. Bounce, pace and movement. More of an inquiry from Stewart as opposed to a genuine appeal. It's just been so difficult to come to terms with this pitch, cutting Andy Flower in half.
66 for 6, but they've played well in this tournament so far. 3 wins under their belt.
A rash of runs early in the Zimbabwe innings, and that may have been because the new ball came onto the bat very nicely on this dryish pitch, but gradually, as wickets have fallen and the ball has got softer and older, it's been harder to time. So Zimbabwe, after 30 overs, 74 for 6.
That'll be 4. The last boundary Zimbabwe got came up in the 11th over. We're now in the 32nd. Andy Flower's first boundary. Just a bit too much room from Darren Gough, allowing him to swing his hands at that. Oof, good fielding. Andy Flintoff at mid-off. For quite a bit of criticism for his bulk. People feel he's overweight. He's getting applause now from his captain.
He actually looked pretty sharp in the covers there, Andy Flintoff. Certainly on his toes, as you should be in these games, and through in one motion. Very unlucky there.
England were truly on their mettle, no question about that. It meant that Zimbabwe had to take a few risks. Andy Flower got away with one. In fact, it was a super stroke because he got his hands going on through the ball, dancing down the pitch to Elam, even with wicketkeeper Stewart standing up to the stumps. Next time he didn't get it quite so right. Just 2 balls later, the ball eluding Andrew Caddick at mid-off. But the whole time you felt this pressure building, and I thought that was a clever way that England bowled and fielded today.
They had fielded really well up until this point. This one getting through Graham Hickett's slip. Craig White had come into the attack from the Stretford end. He was finding a bit of reverse swing. He was getting the ball to leave the left-handers.
There is Mark Elam's effort. 10 overs, 4 maidens, 1 for 19, economy rate of 1.9. He'd buy that any day. Marcus Trescothick came in to bowl his first ball in one-day international cricket. It didn't go quite as he might have liked it to, but he bowls well for Somerset in the one-day game. It was a good try from Stewart.
And Stewart has taken the catch very low down. Craig White has done the trick. Low down, it was well caught.
It's cramped for room. Flower, a good angle coming around the wicket, and that's out. Andy Flower gone for 28. Zimbabwe now 114 for 7.
Oh, beautifully bowled. That's 2 great deliveries in this over. 2 catches to Stewart. That drew the batsman into the stroke. And Stewart has had a good day.
This was a much better delivery than the one that got Flower out. It pitched, angled in and left Villian. There's very little he can do about that. It was just a beautiful delivery. Another wicket gone for Zimbabwe. They're really in a lot of trouble now. Dirk Villian gone for naught, 114 for 8.
Oh, shouts, yes. Trescothick has his first wicket in limited overs internationals. He's done very well with the bat so far. Now he's chipped in with the wicket. England right on top with Alex Stewart. 6 catches now.
He can do very little wrong since coming into the England squad. Trescothick, big edge and a good catch as well by Stewart standing up. Had a little bubble, but he's been in the action all day. Once again, Trescothick is very, very pleased. Stuart Carlisle is gone for 19, 114 for 9.
And LBW means that Stewart can't break the catching record. Last man in, Paul Strang goes. Zimbabwe all out for 114.
That is a dismal card for the Zimbabweans. Johnson and Campbell and people came out blazing, but nobody went on to get a score. 21 Goodwin, 28 Andy Flower, nothing to speak of. 6 catches for Alex Stewart, equaling the record held by Adam Gilchrist in a one-day international. Never mind a good try by Stewart to bring on Trescothick. It was a good move. He picked up 2. They all chipped in. But for me, Alan Mullally and Mark Elam, the heroes of that bowling performance. 115 to win the game, England at 2.3 per over.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment. Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment.
115 for England to win this one-day international at Old Trafford. Marcus Trescothick coming down the steps there, out to bat with Alex Stewart, and the Zimbabwe boys in a huddle. They have already qualified, of course, for the final at Lord's a week on Saturday, but it didn't look as if they were taking it too easy. England had to keep run rate in mind if they ended up on level points with the West Indies. The floodlights were on, they'd gone back up to their full height, and the wind had relented. Shades, though, still on the face of Heath Streak, the hunter from Bulawayo. Alex Stewart showed that he was determined to get the rate ticking along early on by a hard sprint or two between the wickets. Commentating with Dermot Reeve is Barry Richards.
Up and over. Didn't quite time it, but enough to get 4.
Well, this is a very fine shot by Marcus Trescothick. Deliberately played over the top of cover. It was short from Johnson. Up and over. And swung so hard that he lost the grip with his bottom hand. He's meant to play that in the air. Good batting.
Oh, misfield. Took his eye off it. You have to hurry here. Trescothick struggling, and he could be. It's going to be an ask from George Sharp. Direct hit, he was gone. This way around, we're not sure.
He's not the quickest between the wickets. The throw came in, was a little bit wide. It took a while for the bails to go. Trescothick's made his ground.
He's got this one through as well. Played nicely square, and again they're going to pinch 2. And again he's going to get the glare from Neil Johnson.
Trescothick keeping this on the deck, beating backward point. It was Marcus Trescothick in the first match at the Oval. It was his first boundary in international cricket. He followed it up with some great shots. Very strong through the covers, over the top of mid-off. Top scored for England at the Oval and also the following day at Lord's.
Beautiful shot. That is crunched through the offside.
Well, hit with tremendous power. This cut shot from Alex Stewart, because of the pace of Brian Strang, has managed to hit it in front of square. He had plenty of time to line it up, picked his spot. That's a great shot.
Oh, well fielded. Murray Goodwin, he's having a shot at the stumps. Good running, good cricket all round.
There's real urgency from Alex Stewart out there. You can see it in his shot making, also his running between the wickets. It was a good stop by Murray Goodwin. Ball only went a couple of yards away from him. Alex Stewart very quick to call Trescothick through. He was a bit late setting off, but comfortably home.
Good start for England. 10 off a string over. Brian Strang, that is. Doing everything right at the moment, England.
Good day so far behind the stumps for Alex Stewart. That was the first of his catches off Andy Caddick, and another one, Guy Whittle. A little bit more doubt about that, but given in the end. Interesting position Stewart adopts, facing mid-off almost. That allows him to move towards the offside if the edge goes in that direction, as that one from Grant Flower did. Then another edge, this time from Villiers, nicely pouched off Craig White. Andy Flower, the opposite captain, he's taken on an under edge, and then the final wicket that he took off Marcus Trescothick. Nicely juggled catch behind the stumps. Good work by Alex Stewart. They work well with the ball, Trescothick and Stewart. Now can they do it with the bat?
And that's much closer. And he's given him. Alex Stewart is nonplussed. That just swung in the air for my mind and might have just snuck down leg. Umpire John Holler didn't think so.
Well, I don't think it was Alex Stewart was unhappy with the decision. It just took a while to come. He thought he had got away with it. Played across the line, struck him on the knee roll. Nothing wrong with the line, really. Maybe just the height.
Well, I think initially he thought the appeal had been turned down. He looks away here thinking, I haven't got it. Oh, yes, I have. Alex Stewart out for 12, 28 for 1. LBW to streak. He'd be disappointed with that. Lovely shot to get off the mark. No effort whatsoever, just stood up and pushed it into the gap.
Well, this shot shows Flintoff's power. No follow through at all. No more than a defensive push. It's come straight off the middle.
One the left armers trying to trouble the right-hand batsman. Just push it straight across towards slip.
It's a good delivery, slanting across. Flintoff pushing at it, feeling at it. Nothing there to be felt, though. Very close.
36 for 1, and that is from 11 overs, so the rate is okay. And that's in reply to the Zimbabwe card. 114 all out with a top score 28 for Andy Flower, and some excellent bowling figures, particularly Mark Elam, who came on and bowled a wonderful spell. And there's that stroke that's brought about Flintoff's dismissal on occasions, the miscued drive. Good stroke. It slows up a little bit towards the boundary, but it's still hit firmly enough to pick up 4 runs for Flintoff.
Well, he's had a lot of practice driving and missing. This occasion he connects. Not a big stride, but hits it on the up again.
There's a good belt. Welcome to the crease, guy.
That is a huge hit. First delivery, first stop. No time to settle, down the wicket. Good timing, just got leg side of the ball.
There's a good shot. Nice stroke off the back foot by Trescothick. Racing away. Now there's timing and placement for you.
We spoke earlier about the power of both batsmen at the crease. It's the turn of Trescothick to once again show not only power but good timing. Hit on the up and time to perfection and into the gap.
Good shot.
Well, it's not a great deal of respect for Whittle since he's come on. I don't think he'll be on for too long if it continues like this.
Well, the only thing he'd have to decide there would be if the ball was pitching outside the line of the stumps.
Well, it was a full-length delivery. Did it pitch on? Difficult to say. Would have gone on to hit the stumps. It just seemed that it might have pitched outside the line. Good return though for Heat Streak. Marcus Trescottic has gone for 29. England are 57 for 2.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment. Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment.
No ball call. A good save. Whittle has done that very well indeed. It was a no ball call.
It's a good powerful shot, but once again opening the face of the bat. It's a good strike nevertheless, and a good chase by Whittle coming around from third man. A very good stop. Saved a couple of runs. Very exciting.
I like that. As good a shot as you'll see all summer.
No chance of anyone cutting off this one. It went exactly where he wanted it, Flintoff. Straight off the middle of the bat. Very powerfully hit. I think it's better to be out of the way of that one as a fielder than to be standing in the way of it. They won't be hit much harder than that anywhere in the world.
Eight in for Flintoff. Graham Hick has made just one. 65 for 2 and 14 gone.
At the 15 over stage, both sides were roughly neck and neck. You see here from the Zimbabwe Manhattan that regular wickets caused that real dip in run scoring in the middle of the innings, and apart from a bit of a surge at the end, it was a disappointing effort in the end. England, meanwhile, that tremendous over from Marcus Trescothick, all those runs off it, and their Manhattan looking extremely healthy at the moment.
Oh, what a shot. Awesome power from Flintoff, straight down the ground. It's over the ropes already.
It's a touch of IVA Richards here. Just nonchalantly punched her way through mid-on. Need to run for those.
That's big. That's very big. Over the man and wide, long on. 6 of the best from Andy Flintoff, even with men on the boundary. He's still going to play his shots. Smiles from Graham Hick. And smiles in the crowd. Great shot.
Just shows what a bit of confidence can do for you. A couple of shots have got away from Flintoff early on, and now he's got the confidence to play that. That went like a tracer. That really went quite flat over the boundary for 6. A lot of bottom hand power. Great satisfaction, particularly for the audience, his local fans.
Nasser Hussain, injured captain of England. Just an onlooker today. He's travelled with the side. Good positive pull shot. Wasn't all that short from Heath Streak. That's why Andy Flintoff hasn't got onto it perfectly. Just the 2. He's quick onto the pull shot, Andy Flintoff. That one wasn't all that short. He's got a tremendous eye. Four of the best. You don't bowl there to Graham Hick, and that's why. Clubbed away through the covers. Anything Flintoff can do, I can do better.
Well, there's a bit of scorched grass out there now with the shots played by Hick and Flintoff.
Alex Stewart, very happy, captain on the balcony. Nick Knight with a cap on. He's missing out at the minute with his injured finger. And the Glamorgan pair, Robert Croft, Matthew Maynard. Bang! That could be 6 more. Oh! Awesome power, awesome hitting from Flintoff off the back foot. Strang did drop it short. This is power at its best. Oh, he's missed out. Full toss, they're looking for 2. And they'll get it. Another good over to England. 5 runs coming from it.
We ask you at the conclusion to let the players.
Very good from England. Only had a target of 114. They've got there in style. Andy Flintoff, 42 and 45 balls. Some tremendous blows. Trescothick, 29. Well, he would have impressed his selectors. Maybe he'll get a berth in the test team as well. So 104 for 2, just 20 overs gone.
Oh, well, that's well timed. Graham Hick giving himself a little bit of room to Paul Strang. Picked his spot in the covers. Threaded it through. He's joining in the fun.
Looking for a bit of spin, Paul Strang. He's thrown this one up and Graham Hick has just marched down and bludgeoned it through the offside. Where did that go? Smoke on it. And that's a biggie too. That's a huge hit, Graham Hick. No one's moved except the umpire. And he's extended the hands in the air. That is a huge hit from Graham Hick. Magnificently struck.
And that's a huge smile. And why not? England racing to victory. Excellent timing of the feet and the bat swinging through. And that's victory. England home, 8 wickets in hand. Nearly 30 overs to spare. Andy Flintoff, 42 not out. Graham Hick played his part, 23 of 23 balls. A comprehensive victory to England.
Hell hath no fury like Andrew Flintoff scorned. He was man of the match on entertainment value alone, I reckon. Clearly stung by the publicity of the last week, the big Lancastrian played cricket like a colossus today, both in the field and with the bat. Best of all, England got their run rate up, which is very, very important if they end up level with the West Indies towards the middle of the next week. Here with their thoughts now, Simon Hughes and Alex Stewart.
Alec, that looked a remarkably easy victory. Can you put your finger on why?
Obviously we played very good cricket. I criticised the boys Saturday. I thought we played poorly there and we bounced back very well here at Old Trafford. We bowled well, bowled straight. I thought Mark Elam set the tone very early on with good line and length bowling. Then when we batted, the intention was to be positive. And really, Andrew Flintoff led the way, and not only has given us a win, but it's improved our run rate as well.
I suppose also a word for Andy Caddick, who had to bowl a lot into that very nasty wind and turned in a very good spell.
He did, you know, it was a very strong wind. He got back to his mark very quickly, but had to fight his way through the wind. And his 8 overs at the start, proved very, very decisive.
But generally, the England out cricket today looked a lot sharper. Can you put your finger on why?
No, we've had meetings, we've talked just about upping our performance. I thought we gave away too many singles and the odd 2 at the Oval, big outfield. We spoke about just being a little bit livelier. We know we're not the most athletic fielding side, so we have to work that little bit harder, and today I thought we did.
And 6 catches for the captain.
Yes, I mean, 1 reasonable one, the rest were pretty straightforward, but no, it's always nice to catch a few, and 6 was a good effort.
Now, Flintoff and Trescothick, the 2 men, the 2 sort of big hitters in the side, came good today. A word about Trescothick first, but also Flintoff looked, a much better player today. Yeah, Marcus has looked very good since he's come into the international setup. He's had 3 innings and has got stuck in on all 3 occasions, and I think he's impressed everyone. And he certainly impressed me, and I think he could have a very bright future. And with Andrew Flintoff, he's copped a lot of flack this week, some of it justified, majority of it not. And today he just went out there and showed that he can time the ball, and he struck it very cleanly and walked off with 40-odd not out and a man of the match medal. Can he do the same to the West Indies? Yes, I mean, I'll put him up the order for this game to bat 3. To be positive, and on a wicket like that I think you need to strike the ball early, and he certainly did that. We'll reassess things when we go up to Chesterley Street, have a look at the wicket, and obviously consider the type of bowling that they're going to be bowling to us. Well played. Thanks very much, thank you.
Mention of Chesterley Street from Alex Stewart. 2 matches there this weekend. We'll be bringing you highlights Saturday at 15 minutes past midnight, England, the West Indies, and Sunday, Zimbabwe, 24:05. As for today, well played, Freddie. You showed him.
Sport on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment.
Channel 4's official test match guide is available now, priced £4 plus £1.95 postage and packing. Just call our order line on 08702 46 46 46. Calls will be charged at the national rate.